Hey, so this is Michael with Digital T-Shirt Shop, and I decided to do a live, well, I'll do a video. Because I got a question on YouTube earlier. It's out of the way. This person asked, did you do a follow-up video about the companies that you talked about and sales? Blah, 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 blah. I saw my design on another t-shirt website, and it made me wonder in the small print if I agreed to that, more or less. Did I give permission to sell my product on other sites and things? So it made me think about when I had so for some time I had listed my products on third-party sites, and then I walked away from doing that for some time, and lo and behold, my products kept showing up all the time. They would show up on advertisements, they would show up on other sites I'd never heard of before. My products were kind of a unique design that I've drawn and for a niche market. And clearly they're mine. Clearly they were my design, and clearly they're showing up. I didn't put them on there, and I didn't say, hey, yes, you can sell these. And I went and I started looking at these sites. And so I had put a few things on Zazzle and a few things on Spreadshirt and a few things on Cafe Press. And I had stopped selling all of them. And next thing you know, that like a year later, I'm seeing my images. If I'd go search for something related to this niche market, I'd see my images show up as for sale on these different websites. And then I would go and click on it, and it would take me to that website, and my product wasn't for sale. That's scenario number one. So my product wasn't actually for sale, but they were using my product for their advertising, which is a little irritating. Because obviously they're benefiting off of my design, attracting people to come to their website to buy things. So that was happening. I think all three of them were using them, Cafe Press, Zazzle, and Spreadshirt. Then I would see I had a couple items that were actually still for sale on a site and at another time, and it was just a couple of items, but I would see them show up on a bunch of other websites that were website names I had never done business with or didn't even know who they were. And when I'd go to those websites and I went down and I start looking through the fine print, because I'd started sending off some emails, kind of, who are you? I didn't tell you you could sell this, cease and desist. There were a few that people had taken my images and they had tried to sell them on these websites, and those websites were good enough to take them down. And then there were a few that I found out were affiliated with this website I had been listing items on. And so the third party printing company had rebranded themselves with another name, or for whatever reason had another website that they were selling their under, that was their affiliate or their partner site or something of the sort. Problem is I have no idea what sold on there. Whether it sold on there, whether I made a commission off of anything that sold on there, I have no idea. It's just something that I couldn't control, and I've realized a lot, because of this. And this is, even with my experience with Amazon and with these third-party printing sites, there's just not a lot you can do. You could, if you were even if you're the Disney brand, there's not a lot you can do. I mean, you could be policing it all day long. When you get down to all the individual sites, all the boutique sites, all the, I mean, go on Etsy and see how many things that are sold that are Marvel or Disney or, what is it, DC Comics or, whatever other brand there is that people are selling it as a boutique seller, or fan art, or even when you get into like DeviantArt, and I know people sell things on there, and then other sites that don't really work on controlling copyrights, and then even like Wish, and I just can't see there being that much control on it. I know I had a time that I was selling a satire Monster energy drink design, and I had an attorney show up at the door. Well, not attorney, sheriff showing up, serving papers, to sue us. It wasn't my design. I just happened to be selling it. And if a company wants to do that, they can. And Monster Energy was concerned enough about their brand that they came after this one piece of art that the designer and had made and was manufacturing, and I was selling, and a few other people I know were selling it, and they showed up at all of our places, and but that costs money. It costs money that the brand needs to be very determined to control and police that. Otherwise, it's just going to get sold. That would be the same with anybody. And I've actually never heard it happening in the circles of people that I work with to any other people or any other brand. So I mean, I take that back. I know that I've talked to some people who have been sued or served papers or threatened to be sued over some copyright infringements. But it's very minimal because it costs so much to do it. You've got to pretty much have a deep pocket to go and police that and enforce it. And when you're a worldwide brand, that becomes much, much more difficult unless there's a niche in which you can go and zero in on that control. Anyhow, I don't know. That's kind of what it is. And as an artist, as a seller, as a business, people are going to knock it off. Even my things on Amazon wasn't protecting anything that I was doing, and I had people in China knocking it off and selling it for half the price I was selling it for, and it almost makes you feel as though you need to be really, really quick to market. And in addition to that, or you need to just really put out a lot of content that it can compensate for people stepping in and taking a share of your business, and they will. Look at how many copycats there are about everything, and even you have a popular this, that, or the other come out, and everybody tries to find a way to make their own version of it or capitalize on it in one way or another. It's kind of what happens. So, and I'm not saying that that's bad. I mean, the on one hand, yeah, it's taking advantage of opportunity and success. On the other hand, it is, the greatest form of flattery is copying. You did a really good job. I'm going to do what you did. Then it can also reflect on the success that you're having. But it does take a bit away from the individual that came up with the design or came up with the idea and created it. But as all things, I think there's a degree of copying and a degree of trying to use the same format to create your own success. I don't know. I just think so. Even what I've done with a lot of the word T-shirts, there's just a lot of words and phrases and things that aren't particular to anything, but You know, the whole reason for doing those in the first place is other people were having success with that. Um, so I don't know. Best of luck to you. Don't forget to subscribe to Digital T-Shirt Shop.